What up, YouTube? It's been a while. I'm sorry, it's 1 a.m. right now. This is normally whenever I record these things because I can never seem to do them at a normal hour. It always relates to me doing something else, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I was wanting to record a video blog. I've got like 5 ideas, more than that, 50 ideas. New room, no black or white background this time. I decided to keep it natural, mainly because I didn't want to have to hang up the sheet. I just wanted to talk for a second. I went to a Bible study tonight and I heard some really good word and I was like, man, dude, I want to tell people about this. It's awesome. So here I am, right? Cool. First thing, let me preface this by saying that this guy, Afshin Ziafat, taught at a thing called MetroLive in Houston that I got to attend. It's not like Breakaway. If you don't know what that is, I'm just going to include links to all of these things because that'll make it easier. But he spoke on the life of David. I don't know if you've ever read about the life of David. He's one of the biggest ballers ever. He's got dudes underneath him that make the entire movie of 300 look girly in comparison. Just saying. He had a lot of good stuff to say about David. He more talked about David's life, what David did and how he acted, the life that was chosen for him by God. And it was really cool because he read from, what was that? Was it First Kings? Dang it. I was wrong. It's actually in the book of Acts, which is nowhere near that part of the Old Testament. It's actually the New Testament. My bad. Acts 13 verses 36. And it says, "For David, after he had served the purpose of God in his own generation, fell asleep and was laid with his fathers." After he had served the purpose of God in his generation. When you think about that and you're like, dude, he did like what God wanted. Like for his generation. He was like, I have accomplished the purpose. Like, not only does the Bible say that David was a man after God's own heart, like, he accomplished the purpose that God had for him. And I'm just like, I want to do that. And this led into a discussion about our own desires for our lives. And that's what I really wanted to touch on really quickly tonight. You are not the main character in your story. Everybody has a vision for their future. Everybody has a thought for where they really see their life going and how they see it developing. For example, you can ask someone, well, where do you see your life going? And they're going to be like, I have no idea. I mean, they'll know like next week, vaguely. I mean, I'm like, I know I'm filming a wedding next weekend. That's like all that I know. I'm terrible at planning ahead. But then whenever you ask people very specific questions like, where do you see yourself in 10 years? Then they usually have, oh, I'm going to be married. I'm going to be living here. I'm going to have this house. We're going to have 2 kids. It's going to be great. A minivan, all the above. And it really is kind of freaky how they're able to pinpoint all that. And you think about it, and it's their desire. It is their vision for their life. It is their plan. And the question that was posed to me tonight that really had me thinking was, imagine God asking this to you. If you don't have the life you envision, am I enough? And it got me thinking. We're not guaranteed prosperity. We're not guaranteed wealth. We're not guaranteed even like a roof over our heads. But is God enough? And that made me think about my own life. It was like, if I didn't make films, for example, if I didn't make videos, if I didn't do any of that, would God be enough? And that's just been hitting me hard tonight, I guess you could say. That's cool to think about, God, the God of the universe, the creator of everything, and he wants to spend time with us. And he has a purpose for our lives that he wants to fulfill, and he wants us to submit to him in everything. And you look to the life of David, and that's what he did. At least for me, right now, I'm realizing that I need to look inward to my heart, to my character, and really think about what God has for me and what I've been planning my life out to be. Because you asked me what I want to be doing, and I'm graduating in December. So I would like to work for a missions organization overseas, making videos. That's my plan, straight up. I would love to do that. I feel like God's put it on my heart to do that, and that's great. But that said, am I okay if God has a different plan, an entirely different plan? Am I okay if he tells me to put up the camera and do something else entirely? God's asking you, if you do not have the life that you envision for yourself, am I enough? That's just something that hit me hard this evening, and I really wanted to share that. So yeah, it's about 1:30 now. about my time that I planned on cutting off and getting to bed. Hope this was good and encouraging for you and gave you something to think about. Kind of, this is what I've been thinking about, and I was like, man, I really want to share this. So, yeah. All right. I have still been making videos this summer. I haven't just not been, but a lot of them have been either for freelance jobs or private groups. I've been posting a lot of the videos to Vimeo instead of YouTube, so you can check that out. I'll put you a link in the sidebar. And otherwise, I know I'm running 2 websites, soon to be 3. One of them is whoismatt.com, the other one's filmstrong.com, which is more my professional site. And I have another one in the works that's secret right now, but I will have more on that in the coming months. So please, by all means, just check those out, and I will see y'all soon.